In this tutorial, let's look at making a set of interlocking rings, kind of like what the Olympic rings looks like. So I'm going to move my shape tool up here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit just so we get a nice clean workspace down here. Ellipse tool again, D for default. I'm going to drag out Shift and Option and ellipse. Then I want to do the scale tool, which is S for scale. Double click on it, and I want to scale it down 90% and click copy. Now we have two circles inside of each other, one and then the outside one. But what we're going to do is, if I zoom in maybe just a little bit more, I'm going to take that shape builder tool after I've marquee selected both of them. I'm going to take the shape builder tool and I want to minus the inside. So Option, I'm going to click twice just to make sure it's not there. Now if we click on this shape and I pick a color over here like blue, it's see-through in the middle, and it's now combined these two circles or these two ellipses to make a ring. I want to Option drag or Shift Option drag, make a copy, Option drag down here, make another copy of overlapping rings. We're going to zoom in just so we can see what we're working on. Spacebar and drag up so we can fill the screen nicely. Marquee selection tool with the black arrow, highlight all three shapes that we've drawn. We're going to take the shape builder tool and we want it to look like they interlock. So I'm going to combine those, whoops. Make sure you stay inside the line and don't go outside. So if you go outside, Command Z to undo. Make sure you're staying inside the rings as you're drawing. Alright, I'm going to click off. Now what we can do is we have these different little sections, and as I color them in, like I'm doing here with the selection tool, let's maybe do this so it stands out a little bit more. You can start to see how it looks like rings kind of interlocked, right? Might even stand out more if we take the stroke off, and then you can kind of see how it looks like they kind of fold, overlap each other. So that's another way to use the shape builder tool. And the next one over here, let's get really creative. I'm going to hold spacebar, get a nice empty space. I'm going to take the polygon tool. I'm going to drag that out, and I want 8 sides. So if you have less sides, as you're dragging it, hit the up or down arrow. So I'm holding Shift as I'm dragging out, and I'm going for, I don't know, whatever size, something like this. And again, down arrow or up arrow while I'm holding Shift, and I want to have 8 sides. I'm going to let go and I get a nice polygon. Now I'm going to take the rotate tool, which we haven't learned yet, which is over here. You can click on it or R for rotate, and by default where this little blue bullseye is, it would rotate around the circle, around the center. I want to rotate around this anchor point, so I'm going to Option click down here, and it's going to pop up this rotate dialog box, and I want you to type in 45 degrees and click copy. So I moved it 45 degrees. We're going to spin this around a couple times, duplicating the last command we did. Duplicate is Command D. So I want to Command D until I get a brand new 8-sided shape like that. Now I'm going to take my selection tool, make a marquee selection of all of those, and you can see all these cool little patterns in there now that we can get very creative with using the shape builder tool. So shape builder tool selected. I'm going to come over to my color palette. You can either color here or swatches, either one. I'm going to have color open just so there's more to choose from. I'm going to pick a blue, and I can do something like this. I want a lighter blue on the sides, maybe slightly different blue here, really dark one for the top there, and then I can command click off, and you can see how I start to get a really cool, unique pattern going just by starting with a polygon tool, rotating it, and then using the shape builder to get creative. The other thing you might want to notice that I haven't talked about yet is I just clicked to change colors, but really what it did was made separate shapes out of each overlapping section, which is kind of cool. So what I want you to do after this, you're going to create some of your own custom creative shapes using the shape builder tool, and then when we do some projects like the vector illustrator, vector robot, vector monster, then you're going to combine these with the shape and line to make some really creative illustrations.